Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's have a look at some of the stocks on the move today here in Europe. I'm Caroline Hepke alongside Tom McKenzie, and we're joined by Bloomberg reporter Chloe Millay. Good morning, Chloe. Good morning. So let's talk about the British drinks maker Diageo. Looks like investors are very pleased with the announcement of a new CEO. I suppose he's got experience filling the shelves with Johnnie Walker bottles, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. So the shares are up quite a lot this morning because investors seems to be really keen on this new CEO, Dave Lewis, who has, as you said, really extensive retail experience and a strong track record. So he was at Unilever for a really long while, but what he's really known for is turning around Tesco, where he was CEO as well. So he managed to turn things around after an accounting scandal that had sent the shares plunging for Tesco, and he managed to boost profit and sales, and he earned the nickname of Drastic Dave for his program of job cuts and store closures. So we'll see if he does the same at Diageo. Analysts have said that the appointment was a good move and noted that it brings the uncertainty over that leadership transition at the company to an end. So Lewis will now need to reset targets and figure out a way out of the slowdown in that drinks market. Of course, Diageo has not been doing very well recently. The shares are down about 30% over the last year, and it lowered its outlook just last week, noting a lot of weakness in the US and China. But it seems that investors are confident that Lewis can maybe turn things around and revive the fortunes of Diageo.
And in the pharmaceutical space, Chloe, this incredible kind of runoff between Novo Nordisk and Pfizer bidding for a weight loss drugs company, Metsera, and it seems like Novo Nordisk, well, they've kind of thrown the towel in, and so Pfizer are going to go ahead with this. What are the details? Yeah, so investors are actually quite happy that Novo will not be purchasing Metsera. So shares rose for Novo Nordisk this morning after it withdrew over the weekend its $10 billion offer for Metsera, the obesity startup. So that means that Pfizer will now be buying the company. So that's the end of quite an interesting takeover battle that has been followed really closely by the market over the last few weeks. And it seems that investors are not seeing this as a setback for Novo Nordisk, but more Novo walking away from something that might have been quite difficult to pull off, maybe. So there were concerns around overpaying as the takeover battle really intensified last week. And then Metsera had also said that it got a call from the US Federal Trade Commission saying that there were potential regulatory risk with the deal structure that was proposed by Novo Nordisk. So because of those price concerns, those regulatory concerns, potential antitrust concerns as well, that withdrawal is actually being welcomed with a sense of relief by Novo Nordisk investors.
Interesting. And then lastly on Siemens Energy, what's been of note today?
Yeah, it was a race to a buy at Jefferies, and so that led the shares higher this morning. So Jefferies analysts said that the shares were significantly undervalued, and that is despite them more than doubling since the start of the year. They said that the portfolio from Siemens Energy addresses all of the main challenges that we have got in the energy sector, which means that it should continue to see really high demand. So there's been a real increase in grid investments and power generation investments, and that has meant a lot more orders and record backlogs for Siemens Energy, and analysts expect this to continue into 2026. Just last week we had Morgan Stanley analysts also increasing their price target for the company, saying the order backlog was in really good shape. So things are looking great for Siemens Energy.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.